Part four, the day the evening Echo 13 went silent. Now it's turned out to be a body recovered. So a little recap, just a little recap. They found his body, and the Huey gave his last flyover with the side open, the side door open, as a medic saluted. The two squads that were on the south side proceeded to take their helmets off in a quick bow. Some offered cigarettes. I took one. I didn't smoke, but I was always taught when someone offers you a smoke, accept it. And that's, to me, that's a sign of peace. It really is. And, you know, um, now it's time to extract the actual, the remains, and it's not going to be easy task because he took quite a tumble. He took quite a tumble. And, as this process is going through, the actual wrecker, a tow truck shows up to transport his assigned vehicle. Obviously, he wasn't able to drive it back. And I'm gonna say it again. And this area here, you know, I don't know what you want to call it, premonition, or I don't know what the exact word to use. If there is a word, but I was always drawn back. I was always pushed back from actually working this actual station for some reason. I mean, I was always something inside of me felt uncomfortable, and I had to go with my gut feeling. You know what I mean? And I only actually worked as a last resources, as a last option. And I didn't mind. You know what I mean? But my partners would know. Hey, um, I don't feel comfortable working traffic. I don't feel comfortable, calling out traffic here. And they understood. I was straight up, and that's just the way it was. And I believe things happen for a reason. And what they were, I'll never know. But it's going to be challenging actually recuperating the body, and so they're working on it. They got to bring in a special team, to actually boom the actual, the body up in a, in a gurney. And but I'm gonna tell you guys this right now. This always stuck with me, and to this day, it bothers me. It really does bother me a lot, and I never brought it up. I just kept to myself, and if the group saw him take that plunge, if anybody looked back and actually noticed him, actually saw him take that spill, and I'm not saying, oh, they were gonna. None of them were actual. I don't know. Maybe they were. They weren't. But I assume that none of them were actual medically trained to to render any kind of medical aid. But the notion of to just seeing, what had just transpired and just turning your back to it and just continue your journey up north, that always stuck with me. That always stuck with me till I'm talking about it right now to this day. One could only imagine, right? And so the records back and everything. And before I get back to our drive back to the station, we called it early. I mean, they weren't going to get any work out of us anymore. And our surveillance equipment wasn't always manned, so it was not a temporary thing out there. It was just if anybody was available, right? That's how scheduling worked. And it just took the life out of you. Just took the gas out of your actual. A lot of things come to your mind. I mean, a lot of things come to your mind, and and it makes you focus on things that build up to this, or actually, what if, and what if this, what if that. All that stuff's going through your head, and you had to stay up on that, because you couldn't let that drag you down, and you couldn't affect it, and like it affected my partner. And you know, um, I was told, I did not hear about this. I did not read about this. I did not see any kind of news report, any kind of actual mention of this actual incident. But uh, my partner, the one that actually applied for that actual border patrol station, the one that actually successfully got hired, he was actually attacked. He was actually put in a very vulnerable situation. His vehicle was actually rocked. I don't know what type of vehicle it was, what kind of type of traffic it was. I don't know. I don't know any details, like I said. But years later, a supervisor that knew that I would always be partnered up with this agent, which is a good friend of mine. He still lives, but we don't speak anymore. I tried to reach out after I heard this. I reached out one time and I left a message with the supervisor at his station, a detailed message that I know he received. I know I got to his hand. That note actually landed on his hand, and he didn't respond. You know what I mean? And he didn't actually reply. I only did it once. And I knew where he lived and I knew his home phone number, but I reached out in a professional capacity, and he chose not to be bothered. He chose not to reply to me. I'm not gonna take it personal. I'm not. Like I've told you guys, not until you're in that or in a position of the sort of the ones I'm speaking on, you don't know how you're gonna react. That's a fact. Just like the fact that a very close female friend of mine always said, "Don't ever say you're not gonna have an affair on your wife or when you're married. Don't ever say that." For the fact that not until you're in that position, you're not gonna know how to act. If you're gonna go through with infidelity or actually going to go through with cheating. Never say you will never do it, because not until it's in front of you will you know that answer. And she was so right. She was so right. And then you can train, you can practice, you can think about how you're gonna react and how you would do this different, how you would do that different. But not until you're in that position, you're not gonna actually know. And and that drive back to the station was a quiet drive. Was a quiet drive. Was a quiet drive. No good time radio. No AM talk. Just we were on our own little bubble. And as we pulled into our actual our station, the news is out there, there's camera crews out there, the agents' families out there, the sector chief is out there, the press secretary for the border patrol is out there, lights and cameras, filming as we were calling it a shift, filming us as we're trickling into the station. We left the keys in the vehicle. I didn't want to go in the station. I didn't want to go inside. I didn't want to tear up, man. I didn't want to tear up. I didn't want to grab my gear. And that's actually one of the few times I actually took my service weapon home, holster. Grab my gear, grab my supplies, walked out the side gate, just ignored everybody in my bubble, got in my vehicle, and took off. And a female got my attention, and of course I stopped, and I I wasn't rude. I stopped, and I turned around, and I kind of reacted my face, like like what's up. And she kept coming closer, and she handed me the black elastic strap. And I looked at her and I said, "Thank you." You know, I couldn't put it on right there and then, because I chose to have my credentials sewed onto my actual to my uniform. And I wore a tactical uniform. I didn't wear the dress shirt with the little holes to put your actual badge. I I I had sewed on myself was sewed. Um, but I accepted it. And the next day I did wear my dress shirt. Actually, that whole week. I told her thank you, and turned around with very glossy eyes. Very glossy eyes. And to fill in the actual, I'm gonna end this right here, and I will do a follow up on my actual what my partner did when he got attacked. Now let's do it now. Okay. My partner, he felt the threat. He felt the need to unholster his weapon, his 1911 45. Oh, no, no, that was when he was with our team. He actually had a Glock. He graduated with a Glock when he went through the actual academy. Yeah. He unholstered it, and then but he went to the same training as the first time. We went to the same class for the Department of Justice, and but when he went to Border Patrol, he got a reassigned a weapon, and but we both went through the class, through the same motions, through the same instructors, to where guess what? If you feel the need to unholster, you better use it because you're going to be actually doing more paperwork if you do not actual um, use your unholstered weapon. And he emptied it out on that individual. Oh, he unloaded his clip. He felt that threatened for then when his vehicle was getting rocked, thrown. You know, he was getting rocked. There was broken windows, and but yet I would have never known if the supervisor wouldn't have actually told me. You know, from what I understand, he was never the same again. He was actually, I'm not going to say forced, but he was actually pushed to actually seek help because he was traumatized. You know, what I mean, again, you don't know how you're going to react. You don't know how you're going to, not into that position. You're not going to know how to actually, how it's going to go down. And that was his reaction to a situation. I'm not saying that these situations were the same, but yeah, the evening Echo 13 went silent.